Hello everyone, Nikhil this side from Coding Beam. So in this video, we will learn about some advanced functions concepts in the TypeScript. So what are they? So the first advanced concept is the optional parameters, and the TypeScript has an optional parameter functionality, which are the parameters that may or may not receive a value and which can be appended with a question mark after that to mark them as an optional. So the parameter which may or may not receive a value are referred to as the optional parameters in the TypeScript. So if we will see an example of the optional parameters, so if I will declare a function, like it will be the function and the function will be the multiply. And then the function will accept three parameters like the a. So the a will be of type the number, and the b will be type of the number, and then the third parameter will be the c. But the third parameter now will be the optional parameters. And for the optional parameter, we need to add the question mark after that. And then we need to specify the type of it also, like number, and the function will also return as the number. So now we have declared the function, and now we need to use this function, and now we need to check if we have the c, then we have to multiply all the values, or if we do not have the c, then we have to multiply only a or b. And for that we need to check the type of c, like the if the type of the c is not equals to the undefined, so then it will check this, and then if c is defined there, then we have to specify like the a, we need to return the a into b and into c. So this will be a return number, or else we need to return only the a into b. So this will be the functionality if the c is the optional parameter. And then if I will now just console.log this, and if I will just save, I will just call multiply by this, and we have to specify the numbers like a. If I will define the a as the 5 and the b as the 2, and if we do not provide the c, so then you will see the error will be gone here, as the c is optional parameters which can or which cannot receive a value. So if I will now save, and if I will now run the file, so now you will see it will give us the 10, because now the c is equals to the undefined, so this condition will not met, then it will return just a plus b. But if we provide the c value also, like it will be the 10, and now the result should be the 100. So if I will now save, and if I will now run again, so now you will see it has now given us the 100, because now the c is not equals to the undefined, and now it has returned this statement. But if we provide the optional parameter before the last parameter, so in context, the optional parameter should always be at the last of the required parameters. So if we provide the optional parameter before that, then we need to specify the undefined as the optional parameter's place, and it is compulsory for that. And then we need to define the c like 15, and then we need to check the type of the c, like c is not equal to the undefined, and now the optional parameter will be b, so this will change to the b, and then we need to return here the c. So this will be now the code. So if I will now run again, so now you will see the TypeScript will give us an error while compilation that the required parameter cannot follow an optional parameter. But if you will see the JavaScript file, then it will be compiled to that, and the JavaScript will still run this file. So if you will run the JavaScript file like node.app.js, so then you will see it will give us the 75 in the console window here. So these are the concept of the optional parameters. So now we will see about the next advanced concept, and this will be the default parameters. And about the default parameter, so the TypeScript provides the option to add the default values to the parameters. So if the user does not provide a value as an argument, then the TypeScript language will initialize a parameter with a default value which we give, and the default parameter can have the same behavior as the optional parameters. So if a value is not passed to a default parameter in the function call, so the default parameter must follow the required parameters in the function signature. So the default parameters can be omitted while calling a function, and as we did in optional parameters, so if the function signature has a default parameter before a required parameter, as we did here, so the function can still be called, but the default parameter is passed as the value of the undefined. But it is not a good practice, but you can see the JavaScript will still compile this file. So these are the concept of the default parameter. And if we will see an example of the default parameter, so if I will define a function like function, and it will be like the calculate text. So the text will be equals to the first, it will get the number as like the amount. So the amount will be type of the number, and then we need to specify the text amount also, like the text, and it will be equals to the number, and by default the value will be equals to like the 18. So by default the text will be equals to the number and type will be equals to the 18, and now the value will be, it will be returning the number in the that. So if I will now save, and if I will now just return the number like return, and then we will check if we have provided the value to the number, then we have to now to return the number like this. And now we need to add here the return statement, and we need to calculate the text. Now we will be the at a plus, and then it will be the a number into the text by 100. So it will be like the text amount text, and it will be by the 100. So this will be the logic to check the amount after the text. And now if I will now just console.log the text amount with that, and it will be a calculate text, and if I will provide a number like it will be like the, it will be the 100. So then you will see it will be the 118 in the console window. So if I will create the screen, and if I will just compile the file, so now you will see it has now given us the 100, and it will be the a plus the a into text by 100 plus 100. So if we provide the value to the text, like here, if I will provide the value as the 20%, so then you will see it will give us the 20% amount in that. So if I will just save and run, so now you will see this will give us the 120 in that. And if we provide a value to the default parameter, so then it will take the value which we have provided. And if we do not provide any value to the default parameter, then it will get the default value which we provide while in the parameters list. So these are the concept of the default parameters in the TypeScript. So the next concept we have is the rest parameters, and the rest parameters at the n number of parameters on the last function parameter. And the TypeScript has introduced the rest parameters to accommodate the n number of parameters easily. And when the number of parameters of a function which will receive is unknown, then we can use the rest parameters. And also in the JavaScript, this is achieved with the arguments variable, which is the args. And however, with the TypeScript, we can use the rest parameter denoted by the triple dot in that, and we can pass 0 or more arguments to the rest parameter, and the compiler will create an array of that arguments with the rest parameters name provided by us. So if we see the syntax and how we can perform the rest parameters are, first you have to define the function. Like the function, it will be like this sum again, and then the parameters, and the first parameter will be like the number with the a, the second parameter will also be like the number which will be the b, and the third parameter will contain a list of parameter which is the array, and it will contain 3 dots in that. And then we have to provide the name, like it will be like the nums, and then it will be the type of numbers array. So it will be the type of number array, and the function will return the number. Now this is the function, and now we will check if we have the numbers in the numbers array. So then we have to just perform the check in that. So if I will check the condition, like if the nums dot length is equals to the 0, then we just need to return the a into b, a plus b. So we have to declare here the sum variable. I can declare like the let sum is equals to the a plus b. So then we can return just the sum with that and return the sum. And then in the else part, if we can declare with the new logic with that, like else if we have the numbers in the nums array. So if I will now loop through the number like 4, it will be like the const I of the nums. So it is a for of loop now. So the const I of the nums, and then it will iterate over all of the elements of this array. Then we have now to just, perform here the curly braces, and then we need to add here like the sum equals to the sum plus I. So the sum value will be updated, and then we need to just return the sum here. So we need to just return this sum. So this will be the logic of this code. So if I will now refactor this code once fine. So now you will see we have now declared here the sum function, the a number, b number, which is the required parameter. And then we have the numbers parameter. So if we will provide just a 2 arguments with that, like the 1 or 2 with the a and b, so it will give us the 3. And if we provide more argument like the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, so after the 1 and 2, all of the elements will go to the nums array, and then we will calculate const I of nums. So the elements will be iterated over the I, and it will be iterated plus a plus b, and then the sum plus I with that. So if I will now call this function like the log, console.log, and then sum, it will be the sum. And if I will provide just 2 numbers like 1 and 3, and then you will see if I will not provide any numbers in the numbers array, and if I will now call another time this function like sum, and this time if I will provide 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or anything like that, so then you will see 3, 4, 5 will be going into nums array and it will still give us the result. So if I will save and run this file, so now you will see it has now given us the output here. So the first sum will be equal to 3 plus 1, that is the 4, and the second sum will be equals to like the 3 plus 6, 4, 5 and equals to the 15. So now you will see this is the concept of the rest parameters in the TypeScript and how we can use that. And now this time the sum has accepted 1 and 2 as the default, and then the 3, 4, 5 will now going to the nums array, and then we are calculating the nums from that. So this is the concept of the rest parameters. And now the next concept we have in the TypeScript is the function overloading. And about the function overloading, the TypeScript provides the concept of the function overloading in that, and we can have multiple functions with the same name but with the different parameter types and the different return types. And however, the number of parameters should always be the same. So we can define multiple functions with same name and different parameters and return type. So this is the concept of the functions overloading. So if we see an example of the functions overloading, so if I will now just create the function like the function, and it will be this add, and it will just get the parameters like first it will get the A as the string and the B again as the string. So then it will be the return type of the string in the function. So then if I will declare the function here, and if I will now just return here the A, and I will return in the backticks, and it will be like the A again in the expression, and it will be the B. So this will be the return. And if I will now just console.log this function, like it will be the add, and we have to provide the two string parameters like the Nikhil, and it will be the Thadani. So it will concatenate the string with that. But if we are providing with the function overloading, then we have to provide here another function like the function add, and this time the add function will get the parameters as the numbers, like A will be equals to the number and the B will be equals to the number. So then you will see now the return type also will be the number. So now we have the same functions with the same name, but we have the different parameter types and we have the different return types, and it will return like the A plus B only. So if I will now save and if I will now call this function again console.log, so then you will see it will be the add, and the add now will get the A string or object. So now if you will click that, then you will see a string and a number. So we have the two numbers here, like the number will be the 1 plus 1 and 2. So it will give us the same output with that. So if I will now save and if I will now run this file, so now you will see the TypeScript will give us the error. But if I will now run this JavaScript file, so then you will see first it will give us that Nikhil Thadani, and then it will give us the 3 in that. So this is the concept of the function overloading in the TypeScript. So now we have covered the functions advanced concepts in the TypeScript. So thank you guys for watching the video, and I hope you will like the video. And guys, please subscribe to our channel if you are new.